Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, student organizations are having a friendly competition in an effort to raise money for those affected by the natural disasters in Puerto Rico and Mexico.
And the Republican candidate for mayor has plans for change in Hampden.
Also, Parents' Weekend is just a few days away.
All that and more next.
Live from Studio 125, this is the Q30 Newscast.
Hello and welcome to the Q30 Newscast. I'm Krista Delane.
And I'm Brooke Riley. Friday was Fresh Check Day on campus. The day was dedicated to increasing awareness about mental health and the resources offered to those at the university. Shoes were scattered across the quad with anonymous stories of struggles shared by students.
Beverly Wakiaga has the full story.
Fresh Check Day is an event that takes place on college campuses across America. It helps raise awareness on available mental health resources.
To understand how to manage how they're feeling, if they're concerned about a friend, to be able to learn some signs about how to get help.
While having mental health issues is sometimes stigmatized, Fresh Check Day aims to remove the negative perception and get students to talk about mental health.
If they're concerned about a student's safety or a friend, if they're worried about, to not take that on themselves, to not manage all of that additional pressure that they could put on themselves.
During the event, students were treated to free food, free t-shirts, and a host of games and de-stressing tools, all with the purpose of helping them learn what resources they have at Quinnipiac.
We want to be able to just have students know that it's okay to get help, it's okay to talk to people, and that's going to only assist them with supporting them and reaching their goals.
From student government to residential life, many different organizations helped out with the event. The Residence Hall Council held the shoe event, also known as Students Honoring Others' Everyday Struggles, where they left student stories and shoes across the quad.
We placed them around the quad yesterday to create awareness for Fresh Check Day, and today we have them here. It's just showing students that they're not alone in their struggles.
While it only takes place once a year, there are other events planned to raise awareness on mental health issues and the various resources on campus. For Q30 News, I'm Beverly Wakiaga.
Today is National Coming Out Day. In honor of this, the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life set up a table in the Student Center this afternoon as part of their Greek Allies initiative. Their goal was to raise awareness about the LGBTQ community in Greek life and on the Quinnipiac campus. They provided students with free handouts and giveaways. Q30 spoke to the Interfraternity Council president on the importance of the event.
I think it definitely embodies everything that it means to be Greek, celebrating who you are and allowing other people to bring you up and not tear you down.
The Brothers of the Alpha Epsilon Pi fraternity held their Pi a Pi event yesterday on Bobcat Way lawn. People could pie a fraternity brother by making a donation. Q30 spoke to philanthropy chair Ellis Einhorn about throwing a pie at his brothers.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. I mean, it's fun to, pie our friends in the face. We got a little board right here. So, you can pie someone in the face directly or use this board.
The event was not just about having fun. The brothers of the fraternity were raising money for the gift of Life Bone Marrow Registry.
Two clubs at Quinnipiac came together to host the first ever CurlCon at Quinnipiac. Clubs Naturally Me and Women Empowered held the event this past Saturday on Bobcat Lawn. The purpose of the event was to give women a space to appreciate and embrace their natural hair. There were various raffle prizes, games, food, and outside vendors for students to enjoy.
This week is National Physician Assistant Week. In celebration of this and the profession, the Pre-PA Club is tabling in the Student Center for the week. The Pre-PA Club is hoping to raise awareness and provide information about the career of physician assistant. We spoke to a member of the club to find out what this week is all about.
So PA Week is basically just a week of recognition for our field, since it's not very commonly known amongst the general population, so we're trying to raise awareness and attention to our careers.
The club will be selling baked goods to raise money for their organization.
It is the end of Latinx Heritage Month, and the Latino Cultural Society is saying farewell in style with their well-known event, Copacabana Night. Christina Vitas was there with the details.
Tonight, the Latin Cultural Society hosted their annual Copacabana in Burnt Con to help celebrate Latinx Heritage Month. With free entry, free food, and plenty of music and games, it is no wonder why students of all different ethnicities and majors came out to enjoy the event.
Part of the PT program, they require you to go to a multicultural event. So a couple PTs are here to kind of experience a new and different culture, and we picked this one because we thought it'd be fun and interesting.
I know a lot of people, like the minute they heard a PS4 was being raffled off, they're like, I gotta go, and it's such a great cause, so why not?
The Latin Cultural Society is currently in the midst of a campus-wide fundraiser to benefit those affected by the recent hurricanes in Puerto Rico and Mexico, and incorporated their fundraising efforts through raffles and games.
And so we're just trying to come as a QU community to help again Puerto Rico and Mexico. Also Friday we have Buffalo Wild Wings, where all day during that time you could show your flyer and 10% of your check will go towards our proceeds.
Copacabana was the finale of the Latinx Heritage Month festivities, but the fundraising efforts are continuing into the rest of October and into November.
Anyone's can feel free to come. It's just important just to have fun. I know, especially during midterms, it's stressful, and this can be a great, break.
It's super important just to appreciate and respect everyone else's culture. The more you know about different cultures, the more it can help you interact with different people, especially if you're going into healthcare. We're going to have patients across all walks of life, so it's important to kind of know and understand different cultures.
Any raffle winners from Copacabana, as well as the organization that has won the fundraising competition, will be announced by the end of this week. But the Latin Cultural Society's events will be sure to continue. For Q30 News, Christina Vitas.
We are now halfway through the semester, and that means Parents' Weekend is here. This weekend, Quinnipiac has several events occurring on campus for students and their parents to enjoy. These include going to see a hockey game, an artisan fair, or student theater performances. There are also events off campus such as Rocktopia, a concert fusing classical and rock music. With so much to do, it is sure to be a fun weekend.
Well, Krista, we've had some unseasonably warm weather out here lately.
We have. Janelle Cadigan is here with some more information on these warm temperatures.
That's right, guys. Not only has it been very hot, but it's also been very humid. In fact, Sunday and Monday, it actually got up to around 97% humidity, which actually set some fire alarms off in both Dana, Larson, and Mountain View, as well as some other residence halls, I'm sure. Luckily, we'll see a break from that humidity coming up. I'll have all of that, but for now, Krista and Brooke, back to you guys.
Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, a new club has formed on campus for those interested in knitting and crocheting.
And a popular sphere group on campus holds auditions for new members. All that and more coming up after the break.
Hello, and tonight on Sandwich News, we will determine what makes a good sandwich and a bad sandwich. First, the standard sandwich. Uninspired, and frankly, a little gross. But we have here a Ray and Mike sandwich, the Cadillac of sandwiches. And if you want one, well,
come on down to Ray and Mike's at 3030 Whitney Ave, Hamden, Connecticut. Open every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. QCash is accepted.
now that's a sandwich.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning After. Coming up on #that, we talk about some fun events around Quinnipiac's campus.
And we talk about some weird news that's been discussed around Twitter.
all that and more, we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
A new club on campus is stitching to make a difference. The Stitch It Forward Club is knitting and crocheting several different items for donation. They had their first official meeting last week, and I had the opportunity to sit in and talk with the founders.
The Stitch It Forward Club was first founded in April of last year and had its first meeting of the semester on Monday night. Founders Jacqueline and Devin met during freshman orientation at Quinnipiac and discovered that they both have a shared interest for knitting and crocheting and decided to start the club together.
We're going to make animals like this to give to like children's hospitals, and then like baby hats, that's like individual. And then we plan on going to nursing homes and crocheting and knitting with them. Come and don't get frustrated with it because that's like the hardest part.
Jacqueline and Devin, along with others experienced in the craft, gave tutorials to beginners trying to learn to either knit or crochet.
I'm basically in charge of teaching people how to knit right now and just orchestrating that entire project for the little blanket we're making for the kids' hospital.
The club had a large turnout for its first meeting of the semester, with over 20 students showing up, varying from experts in the craft to beginners.
If you don't know anything about knitting, we'll teach you. It's a struggle, just as today is gone, it's a little bit of a struggle, but we'll get you there, and it's fun. It's just super relaxing, especially it's fall, so it's time to start knitting.
The Stitch It Forward Club is currently working on several different items to donate to the local children's hospital. Even if you know nothing about knitting or crocheting, you're welcome to join. They meet Monday nights in the Center of Communication and Engineering in room 209. For Q30 News, I'm Krista Delane. The Latino Cultural Society is holding a competition to raise money for those affected by natural disasters in Puerto Rico and Mexico. The competition, also known as Battle of the Bobcats, is between different student organizations on campus to see who can raise the most money by Thursday. LCS President Kelsey Baumann spoke to us about the support the club has received from other organizations.
The minute I sent out the flyer, all these organizations, I even woke up with 20 emails at one point just in the morning, and it was just all we want to help.
The winner of the competition will also receive a portion of the funds to go towards a charity of their choice and an ice cream social.
Q-thon events are back in full swing. The organization had food trucks on the quad today. The event was held to help raise money for the campus-wide dance marathon that raises money for the Connecticut Children's Medical Center. This year's Q-thon is looking a little different. The event will take place on February 24th, a month earlier than it has in years past. With flu season just around the corner, many students are making it a point to get their flu shots. Health Services is giving students a chance to receive their flu shots on one of Quinnipiac's 3 campuses. There will be several clinics held throughout the next few weeks.
Despite facing adversity along the way, Salman Hamid is determined to make a positive impact in his community, including improving the relationship between the town of Hamden and Quinnipiac. He is running as the Republican candidate for mayor of Hamden. Q30's Sarah Russell has the story.
In a basement office in a building on Dixwell Avenue, Salman Hamid is preparing for the upcoming election in Hamden, where he is running as the Republican candidate for mayor. Moving to the United States from Pakistan at the age of 3, Hamid's Muslim background has led to some bias against him.
People will post articles and news pieces of me, and somebody will go back to your country, go back home. You don't belong here. I'm like, okay, that's fine. God bless. I greatly appreciate your opinion.
The Republican candidate wants to use his diverse background to make some major changes in Hamden, starting with the way the town communicates with its residents.
A lot of citizens have gotten tired because their government does not communicate with them. How are the roads being done? There's no rhyme or reason. How are the sidewalks paved? There's no rhyme or reason. Trees are falling or people want them removed because they could fall on a power line. Nobody gets back to you. So communication is the first piece.
Hamden residents agree that communication could be better, as many don't even know that there is an election coming.
Do I know about the upcoming mayor election? Not as much as I should in Hamden.
I would say on a local level, it seems as though to get a real hearing insight to the local level of politics, it's a lot harder than on a bigger scope.
And Hamid wants to improve the relationship between the residents and Quinnipiac.
I would actually like to host events even at Quinnipiac that would be free to residents, and so students would be involved in this process as well. But I would also like Quinnipiac to host events where you all are coordinating. So I mean, I would love to run the International Bazaar at Quinnipiac. That'd be phenomenal.
The election for mayor will take place on November 7th. Sarah Russell, Q30 News.
From wildfires to tropical storms, a lot has been happening across the country.
Sarah Russell is here with our national news update. Sarah?
Thanks, guys. Wildfires continued raging in Northern California as 22,000 people were evacuated. As of Tuesday, over 115,000 acres of forest were burning in California, and 15 people had been found dead. 2,000 homes and businesses have been destroyed in the blaze. The fire started on Sunday and spread quickly because of high winds and dry weather. Winds calmed down on Tuesday, but are expected to pick up slightly tonight. Another tropical storm has formed in the Atlantic Ocean. Tropical storm Ophelia formed on Monday with winds of 40 miles per hour. Ophelia is projected to become a hurricane by Friday. This will be the 10th hurricane we've seen in 2017. This year has been the most active hurricane season since 2005. At this time, the storm does not seem to be a threat to land. The Lubbock campus of Texas Tech was put on lockdown Monday night. Freshman student Hollis Daniels is in custody after fatally shooting campus police officer Floyd East Jr. The student was arrested after police found drug paraphernalia in his room. During his arrest, Daniels pulled a gun and shot East. After the incident, he fled the scene, but police were able to catch him and bring him into custody. The campus community held a vigil on Tuesday night. And finally, Dove is facing some criticism after its most recent ad campaign was released. Many are accusing the campaign of being racist and pushing the idea that lighter skin tones are the general standard of beauty. In the ad, women of different races removed nude-colored t-shirts to become one another. Dove has since apologized and removed the ads from social media. That's all I have for this week's National Update. I'm Sarah Russell. We're going to take a quick break.
Hello, and tonight on Sandwich News, we will determine what makes a good sandwich and a bad sandwich. First, the standard sandwich. Uninspired, and frankly, a little gross. But we have here a Ray and Mike sandwich, the Cadillac of sandwiches. And if you want one, well,
come on down to Ray and Mike's at 3030 Whitney Ave, Hamden, Connecticut. Open every day from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Qcash is accepted.
now that's a sandwich.
Coming up on #that, we talk about some fun events around Quinnipiac's campus.
And we talk about some weird news that's been discussed around Twitter.
All that and more, we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning After.
Brooke, it seems like Mother Nature just doesn't want to give in to the fall weather.
Hey, I have no complaints about the warm weather. Janelle Cadigan is up in the piazza with the full weather forecast. Janelle, will the warm weather be sticking around?
Well, for those of you that love the warm weather, you are not going to love these next couple of days. It's about that time of the year where as soon as the sun goes down, it gets really cool outside, and starting tonight. So let's take a look at the Connecticut map for current temperatures. And as you can see on the map, New Haven is holding on to that 65-degree temperature, and the same thing for New London, 62. Those warm weathers are because the water is so warm this time of year, and so those cities along the coastline, they stick on to those warm temperatures. But farther inland, Killingly and Torrington, they're headed down into the 50s, so that's just because they're farther away from the coastline. But if we take a look at Hamden's temperatures, tonight Hamden is at 53 degrees, a little bit chilly. Tomorrow, much cooler than we've seen the past couple of days, 65 degrees, enough for a little sweater. And tomorrow night, it's going to get really cold, down to 43, almost winter-like. So we're finally seeing some normal temperatures for this time of the year. So let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Today, we saw that 72 degrees, a little bit cloudy, and it did rain tonight. Those showers should be wrapping up overnight tonight, so by the time you wake up tomorrow and go to class, you should be fine. You won't need those rain boots. Thursday, 65 degrees, again, like I said, a little bit chilly, and down into the 40s for the nighttime, so you're going to want to close those windows, take those fans out. Friday, it's going to be partly cloudy, 63, again, another chilly but perfect fall day. Start of Parents' Weekend. Friday night, it's going to shower just a little bit, but it's not looking like a washout for Saturday during Parents' Weekend. Just some brief showers, and they should wrap up around 1 p.m. Sunday, 76. It's looking gorgeous, a perfect day for the hike with the family. Monday, 65, and to wrap it all up, Tuesday, 66 degrees. So it's a pretty, widespread week that we have around here, but those fall temperatures, they are on their way, I promise. So enjoy Parents' Weekend. For now, Krista and Brooke, back to you guys at the desk.
It seems like there's always something big going on in the entertainment world.
You are so right. Kayla Hebe has an entertainment news update for us. Kayla, what's this week's celebrity gossip?
Thanks, Brooke and Krista. James Corden is back with his famous carpool karaoke, this time bringing Miley Cyrus. Together they harmonized to her popular hits like We Can't Stop, The Climb, Party in the USA, and of course, Wrecking Ball. But besides singing along to these popular hits, Corden asked her some questions about her past Hannah Montana days. She said, quote, "I want you to know who I really am, but I love that that was me and is a part of me," end quote. For a while, it seemed like Miley Cyrus was going through her crazy phase, but she says that phase shaped her into the person she is today. It's good to hear that Miley Cyrus still appreciates her days as Hannah Montana, even though she's well over that phase. Next, for all you concert fans, it's the most wonderful time of year again. Well, almost. Jingle Ball is coming, and it is the annual concert that takes place around December. This concert is produced by the Los Angeles radio station KISS FM. The concert will start the tour on November 28th in Dallas and complete the tour on December 16th in Florida. This year, the concert has a great lineup that has everybody talking. First, we learned that Taylor Swift will be performing, along with Ed Sheeran, The Chainsmokers, Demi Lovato, and many more. Tickets go on sale October 16th to the general public. Next, one popular game is making a comeback. Long before cell phones were a thing, we had Tamagotchis, and they're coming back. The popular toy was created in Japan in 1996, but came to the United States 20 years ago. It's being re-released in a smaller and simpler form. They're expecting to sell out fast. So the pre-orders begin October 10th on Amazon, and they'll hit the shelves in the United States November 5th at stores like Toys R Us, Walmart, and Target. So be sure to pick up one and relive those childhood memories. And finally, Kate Middleton finally has made a public appearance since announcing her third pregnancy. Middleton made this appearance at the reception at the Buckingham Palace in honor of World Mental Health Day. Prince William and Prince Harry were also in attendance. This reception was also to celebrate the impact of the Royals' Heads Together charity, a charity that raises awareness to change the conversation of mental health while fundraising for services. Even though Middleton is only less than 12 weeks into her pregnancy, from pictures you could already see that little baby bump. That's all I have for this week's entertainment news. Back to Brooke and Krista at the desk.
Thanks, Kayla. Coming up on tonight's newscast, we have Chris Stacy here with everything you need to know about Quinnipiac sports.
And a sneak peek at the possible new members of a fan-favorite Sphere group. Stick around, you don't want to miss this.
Bobcat Breakdown, presented by the Quinnipiac Bobcats Sports Network.
We are your source for debate.
Did they make the playoffs last year, Tom Jenkins?
When it clicks, it clicks.
We dissect Quinnipiac athletics on a scale you've never seen before.
With Tobia, it almost looks like she's reaching a little bit.
Plus, we bring in the biggest names surrounding college sports.
We are live here at the Times Union Center with Jay Billis.
And of course, some comedy.
But you can only have so much arena food.
I think you're crazy.
Bobcat Breakdown.
Tuesdays at 9:30.
Coming up on #that, we talk about some fun events around Quinnipiac's campus.
And we talk about some weird news that's been discussed around Twitter.
All that and more, we are your source for Quinnipiac's entertainment news.
Hockey season is back in action.
But our fall sports teams are still competing. Chris Stacy has your Quinnipiac Sports Update. What do you have for us, Chris?
Thanks, Brooke and Krista. And you said it, hockey season is back in Hamden. The men's hockey team started its season out by traveling up to Boston College. The two teams fought to a 1-1 draw. The Bobcats came back to Hamden for another Boston foe. This time it was Boston University coming to town. Let's roll the tape. Like I said, Boston University come here. First period, we're going to pick it up. You're going to see Quinnipiac. Huge story last year. They were struggling on the power play. Those struggles still continue here so far for the Bobcats this year in the young season. You're going to see a few shots by the Bobcats get nothing going here. Blocked both times. And we're going to stay here in the first period. You're going to see Kevin Dwayne start barking at a BU player. He is a transfer from BU, emotional for him. We're going to move on to the second period. We're going to see here Keith Petrozelli, the star freshman, get trapped under his own player, and BU is going to take advantage. They're going to tie this up 1-1. But Bo Pieper is going to come right back and take the lead for Quinnipiac. It is 2-1. Boston College, however, is going to send it into overtime. Let's see how they did there. You're going to see a nice sequence here by BU. He's going to get a shot off. There's going to be a scramble for the net, and they're going to score that one. BU is going to win this one 3-2. Quinnipiac 0-1-1 on the season. And of course, the fall sports are still going strong here as MAC play keeps on chugging along. Let's take a look at some of the results from over the week from the other teams. As you're going to see here, women's soccer tying their Ryder, tying that up in the last 5 minutes. That's a heartbreaker for the Bobcats. Women rugby, that is becoming such a rivalry right there against Central Washington. They're going to lose, however, 31-22. Men's soccer showing that they can score the ball against Canisius. They're going to win 3-0. And volleyball, rematch of last year's MAC championship game. They lost in straight sets. Tough loss for them. And field hockey played against their old MAC foe, Siena. They're going to win 3-2. And Baker Dunleavy and his men's basketball team has gained yet another recruit for the 2018-2019 season. The second commitment for the class is Matthew Belenk. Belenk is a 6'3" point guard who played high school at Springbrook High School in Silver Spring, Maryland. The two-star recruit announced his decision Tuesday via a Twitter video. Belenk joins Ty Pickron as a second recruit Dunleavy has grabbed for the season. Next season, Belenk he chose the Bobcats over the University of Rhode Island and Florida Gulf Coast University. The season starts for the Quinnipiac Bobcats on November 11th when Dartmouth comes to town. That's it for sports. Let's go back to the desk.
Thanks, Chris. Have you seen Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Lala, or Poe around at sporting events? Some students involved with a spirit group here on campus like to dress up as the Teletubbies to support teams at their games.
And since there are spots on the QU Teletubbies team opening up, their spirit group decided to hold tryouts in the Rocky Top Student Center Dance Studios. Auditions included a written quiz about the Teletubbies history and a dance routine.
Krista, what do you think about the Teletubbies?
I think they're awesome. They hype everyone up during all the hockey games and every other sporting event, and they're just a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I think they're really cool. I think it's a lot of fun that they have students doing that. Well, that is all we have for this week. Be sure to follow us and stay up to date at Q30television.com.
And follow us on Twitter at Q30 Television and Q30 News. For all of us here at Q30, thank you for tuning in to tonight's newscast. I'm Krista Delane.
And I'm Brooke Riley. Remember to always reach for the stars. Good night, Quinnipiac.